Right then, welcome back everyone to Let's Talk Leeds with me, GWFM, and I'm joined once again by my esteemed co-host, Mattinho Got Game. How are you doing, pal?
You right, man?
Not too bad, obviously. Been a little while since we did recording. We couldn't get together on the actual day, and then this was the next available time, which is actually on transfer deadline day. Are you excited, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might have been built up. I was expecting maybe a little bit more. It's been built up to be really exciting, but you never know. Things happen really quickly.
Yes,
So,
I do.
we'll see what happens.
Bit of a cliche from the football manager scene, where you get options of transfer deadline day, and one of them is always, these things can happen very quickly. It's always the same. But late on there is usually some deals. We're actually involved with one at the minute, it seems, at this moment in time. We are recording this about 8:30 at night, just after. Dan James from Swansea. We'll get onto him shortly, but basically, at this moment in time, it's not done, but he's been in for a medical and stuff, so you would have to imagine that he's done, so we'll get onto him later on. But first and foremost, we're going to review the Rotherham United game. So what did you think, Matt?
Game of two halves, pretty
Definitely.
much. We both said it. First half was terrible. Probably one of, if not the worst first half of football we played. Looked just... I don't want to say disinterested, but we just looked devoid of ideas, lackluster. They seem to be winning all the 50-50s and the second balls.
Correct.
They showed more initiative and they just seem to have more energy about them. We look kind of tired and leggy in the first half. They got the goal. Can't really put much blame on the keeper for that.
No.
It was one of those strikes that he let that shot 100 times, and it's only one time it will go in that particular place.
I think the term is thunder bastard.
Thunder bastard or worldly or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I can't really put too much blame on the keeper, our new keeper.
How do you think he did?
All right. There were a few derby moments. He seems to be a bit like Benny Peacock Farrell in that he will sometimes just disappear into no man's land. For what seemingly is no apparent reason. You'll see, there was one in the second half. He came, he got nowhere near it, and 50p, 20p, the old back end.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, second half, we obviously, when we went a goal down and we were playing it badly, we would just get to the half time so Bielsa can kick up the arse.
That's what it felt like, yeah.
Yeah. We looked a lot better. We showed a bit more initiative. Jack Clark came off. He had a really poor first half. The fullbacks for Rotherham had a pretty good first half. And Roberts, who came on, I think. And it kind of provided the spark, I suppose. It offered something maybe a little bit different. And the first goal, a bit fortuitous, but it doesn't matter how they're going, really, as long as they're going. Click finally ended his goal duck after a really good start to the season.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, Rotherham still had a couple of chances. There was a really, really good save from Kiko from another.
It was Volks, wasn't it? I think hit it from about 25 yards, going right top corner. So some great good angles of it as well, haven't we?
Yeah, so it was a brilliant save. So hopefully we're going to see more of them. Saves, that is, not world goals. Once we got that equaliser, it kind of felt like it's only ever going to go one way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And we kept plugging away, trying to find that opening. Eventually, it did, and it was Click looking like Click of August, September of last year, rather than Click of
since then.
all the other months between that point and this one. So and we got the winner. Would have had to have won by more, given where Rotherham sits, but at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. A win is a win. We'll learn our lessons from that first half, and hopefully go on and do better in the upcoming games when it comes to teams of sort of down the bottom of the end of the table.
Yeah, I don't think I can disagree with much about what you just said there. I mean, like I said, first half, I just felt like I say, it was like the worst performance, definitely under Bielsa, but for quite some time, probably since the Heckingbottom days. And it's just like, I don't know, they just like you said, they seem to win every 50-50 and every loose ball and whatever. But they didn't really create much. But it was the fact that we didn't create anything at all. You know, they had a couple of like long range efforts, which you kind of expected, and they tried to get us on off a set piece or something like that. But to be fair, I don't think we defended that bad to say we had no Pontus Jansson, which I kind of was a little bit fearful because that Michael Smith is quite a handy target man type, isn't he? But they didn't seem to threaten us too much, and like I say, second half. We just need to pick it up another gear. And as soon as we got that equaliser, they only looked like they were going to be one team went on and win, aside from that long-range effort that forced a save from Kiko. Well, I thought I was decent. Like I say, it came out, I think he ran into a body, like a pack of 5 bodies or something like that, and got nowhere near the ball. But there were another one. I remember coming out and claiming one, which I thought he had no right to get, and he got it. And, you know, I think the fact that one of the most pleasing aspects about him coming in for me was when we passed it back to him. Like every time we passed it back to Bailey Peacock Farrell, you always had a twitchy arsehole thinking he's going to fuck up here. Where he just looked so composed and assured when he got on the ball. You never thought, for some reason, he just had this aura about him that you thought he's not going to give the ball away cheaply. Now watch him do it in the very next game, but you know, it came across that way, and I can kind of see why he's been brought in. But yeah, I thought he had a solid debut without being spectacular. Obviously, the save did help build his opinions of him so far. But before we get on to the Norwich game, obviously we'll be looking into the big, massive, top of the table clash. Transfers, and obviously it's a transfer window day as it stands, and potentially we could be getting Dan James in from Swansea. What are your thoughts, Dan? Matt. Can you, Dan?
Dan,
yeah, Dan. What are your thoughts about joining Leeds? Sorry, Matt, go
on. It's been obviously long and drawn out. I hate the fact that it's come down to the last day of the transfer window. I mean, if it's your main big target and you've known this, get it done first day. Just get it done. Don't piss around, or start the legwork before the window opens so you can just confirm it. Like with the size deal, like Getafe did. They wanted him, they got the legwork done. He couldn't play until January, but they got the legwork done, got him into train and so on. So I know it's different over there than it is here because they have the winter break and so on. But I mean, supposedly pretty good. He's only just really started getting into the Swansea team with consistency this season, but also sees to the get him, and more importantly, Bielsa does as well. So it comes in a position that that we've had, we've needed backup since Size left and Baker left. Midfield probably looking a bit thin, especially in the wide areas. Not seen a whole lot of him. Saw the goal against I can't remember who it was now in midweek.
It was against Birmingham City.
Birmingham City, that was it. Thought it was all right. It wasn't a worldie. It was a little bit fortuitous. The keeper should have done better, yeah. But Bielsa sees something in him. He signed off on him and said, "Yeah, that's someone I want in." He's young. He's got time to improve. Would have liked it done on a permanent deal. Would have liked it done potentially a lot cheaper than it's being touted. I think 12 million is way too much for a player who's only just this season started to get into the side, and he's not really set the world alight, I suppose you could say, in this league. He's done good, he's done well, but I don't think it's worth it. I would have paid 3-4 tops. So I suppose it's good in a way because he's already paid £1 million for the loan for the rest of the season, which, grand scheme of things, 10 million versus 1 million.
If it goes wrong, that is.
Yeah, so we can just walk away really. If it doesn't work out. So we'll see what happens. There's still a little bit to get over the line. We haven't got a full confirmation yet. He's had his medical.
I keep looking at my phone at the minute as we speak just to see.
I was doing it all day. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, we needed another winger. Frees up Pablo to maybe move more centrally on a more permanent basis. Maybe takes a little bit of the pressure off Jack Clark, and so on and so forth. I would have liked to have maybe got another winger in, and maybe a midfielder and a defender, and
another team,
and a striker. But we'll see what happens. It could be a masterstroke. It could be a flop. We don't know yet. Well, I suppose hopefully we'll find out. He'll come in and he'll score a hat-trick against Norwich on Saturday.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've currently got the screen up on the old Football Manager. I know it's not for everyone, but basically it just gives you a rough idea of how good he actually is. He's very quick. These are scored out of 20. His pace is 17, acceleration is 15, which is, pretty damn good if I'm honest with you. Dribbling is 14, flair 14, off the ball 13. These like his high attributes. Finishing's only 7. Passing's 11, which for a winger isn't actually that bad, believe it or not. He can play either wing. He's right-footed mainly, but it looks like he's got like a reasonable weak foot. So, yeah, it looks like he's going to be one of the versatile options, like a bit like a bit Harrison could play either side sort of things. It's going to be someone similar to that. Like I said, if it's £1 million that started, I've seen 2 million. I think that's quite expensive, really, for a loan for the sake of 17 games or whatever it is. However, if it works and pays off, it might be worth signing him for 10 million quid in total or whatever. But if it doesn't pay off, at least it's only 2 million quid. It's still kind of a waste of money if it doesn't work out and we end up not going up. But obviously we're going to think positive. We're going up, boys, as fucking champions. Well, hopefully. But But yeah, back to what you were saying. I think the reason why it's taking so long, that's because the Discord went down halfway through. So Matt was halfway through a really intelligent thought process and everything, and it all just went to shit. So basically, I'm trying to remember now if he actually said this, but he mentioned something about why didn't we go out and get it sorted first day, like in the transfer window, which it would make sense. Look at Getafe. They did it with Saiz. They got him organised and sorted before the transfer window opened, so he was ready to go and learn all the tactics and everything. The reason I can think of is there's been a lot of figures being touted all the way through this transfer window. We've been linked with him quite a long time, and I think it's just a case of at one point they were wanting 8-10 million or something like up front, and I think it's because it's a transfer deadline. It's like it's forcing Swansea. It's like calling the bluff. Knocking the ball in their court, so to speak, and seeing if they want a deal, this is what we're doing. Either you accept it or you miss out on having a potential big fee. And that's the way I see it, why they've done it. I'm like you, Matt. I think it should have been earlier and get him in and learning all the system and everything earlier, because knowing Bielsa, this guy probably won't play for at least another 2 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So by then it's going to be nearly April, and the season could be done and dusted. You never know. But yeah, I'm quite excited by him though, because he looks like a better version of Hadisako. Whereas Hadisako had moments today, moments of flair and brilliance.
Yeah.
But he just didn't have a final end product. It looks like he could be a lot more decisive than that. And let's not forget, I think he's played for Wales as well.
He's got 1 cap, yeah.
He's got 1 cap, yeah. So he's also he's actually a Yorkshire lad as well, to be fair, which I wasn't surprised. Which I was a bit surprised. Obviously, I said he's Welsh, but he grew up in Hull, so. Maybe he wants to be closer to home. Another draw, perhaps. But it was just funny because he played midweek, and everyone was saying, he's not going to go anywhere because he's playing for them. But which begs the question, why did he play for him? If they knew they were going to sell him, why would he play for him? I remember when Chris Wood left us to go to Burnley, we agreed that they won't play him in case he got injured. I found that a little bit bizarre, which is why I was a bit unsure whether it was actually going to happen. But anyway, it is happening, and, well, by all accounts, it's happening. The other player, of course, we've already spoken about is Kiko, but another young player who, unfortunately, I ain't got it on this save, so I can't look at him, unfortunately. But yeah, I can't remember his first. It's Matthias Bogus. I think it's Bogus, dude. Bogus. Yeah, it's like Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure or whatever it is. Bogus Journey, innit? Excellent adventure. Pretty that's much, it. Yeah. Polish lads, and apparently it's daylight robbery according to the Polish media. 200 grand is the reported fee. Apparently, they reckon in 2 or 3 years we could sell him for 30-40 million quid. Now, either he's going to be shit hot and play for us for ages, or that is what I've been saying in the last couple of episodes. I believe I've said it in the last couple of episodes, where we buy him cheap and sell him on for a massive profit. Not saying it's going to happen; it's not guaranteed. But that's the business model. Look at Chelsea. I heard today that they've got 42 players out on loan. Most of them probably won't ever make the first team of Chelsea, but they'll get them dirt cheap, loan them out, get a decent fee for them. They made the money. You know what I mean? They made a profit, and I think he could be potentially one of them, or it could be a smooth move, and by Victor Orta maybe. I dare I say. What are your thoughts on that particular transfer, mate?
Still a bit undecided on it. It's a young player. He's 17 years of age, so there's plenty of time for him to reach whatever his potential might be. I've seen some videos of him playing. Pretty good finisher. He's got like 5 goals in 20 games for a 17-year-old, but those goals in Poland did come in their 3rd division. Yeah,
that's one thing.
Yeah. But again, I mean, while not every young player we've brought in has worked out, there are a few that have. So I'm interested to see where it can go. I don't think we'll see him anytime soon.
Depends how many injuries.
Yeah, maybe back end of next season. Take some time to get used to the system, get used to living here. I mean, the good thing is we've got obviously Mattias Klick, who is also Polish international, so he'll obviously be helping him get settled in and showing him where the best Polish supermarket in town is or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Oh, really? In my town, there's loads of them, but still, having someone who's come from Poland and come to Leeds probably will be helpful. And also plays in the same sort of position, so who knows?
You think he'd take him under his wing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's it's probably one of the big. I can see Bielsa saying it's one of the big responsibilities for the senior players when it comes to the younger players, purely because of how much game time the younger players have had. Players like Jack Clark come in and
Shackleton, Leif Davis has had a few games. Palmer. So again, undecided if it does turn out to be as good as the Polish media are touting. 200,000 is an absolute bargain, but time will tell. I suppose 200,000 grand scheme of things. If he does have that sort of potential, I'd probably pay that just to find out where that potential could go. So we'll see. I don't think he's going to fill a shot. I don't think he's going to fill the size role right now because he's 17 and he's been playing third division in Poland. But I suppose we'll see what happens, and we'll be getting constant updates with how he's doing in under 23s and so on. Yeah, I believe that I can't remember the name of the team. It's Churros or something like that. I can't remember the name of the team. But basically, I saw a post on Twitter. I think it was Twitter anyway, or Facebook. Basically, the team is actually the team that's got the most titles in Poland, basically, apparently. So they've got a rich history. Whether they've got a rich history of young players coming through the academy, we'll have to wait and see. But I'll briefly touch on the fact that Sacco's gone to gone on loan again. Got Sneeze coming. So yeah, that's my take on bogus, dude. But other than that, basically, we've got Sacco's gone to another Turkish team, but I think his time's over anyway, so I won't go into much in depth with him. But one player is going out, which kind of did surprise me, but at the same time not, because he hasn't really featured, and to be honest with you, Leif Davis has been getting on the bench ahead of him. Tom Pearce has gone to Scunny on loan. What do you think to that, Matt?
I think it'll be good for him. I think it's not worked out exactly how he and us would have thought when he came into the side last season towards the back end, that he did well and he got a goal and so on. We're thinking, okay, we could have a player on our hands here. And then he signed a new deal from, to kind of ward off, I think it was Everton who were looking at him in the summer. Yeah. But he's not really played. I don't know whether it's a case that he doesn't really fit into sort of the Bielsa style of playing, the way he plays or so on. You've seen Leif Davis jump ahead of him in the in the running order, I suppose, behind guys like Douglas and Alioski
now.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a good move for him. He needs, as much as you can learn from playing in the under 23s and how good some of those teams are, playing first team football in a proper, fully competitive league is always going to be more beneficial. So hopefully he'll do well. He'll come back in. He would have learned some stuff. He would have broadened his horizons in football terms, I suppose, by getting a bit more experience under his belt, and hopefully he'll come back and be better. But I mean, if it doesn't happen, then I think we can command a half decent fee for him if it doesn't work out. I think it's sort of getting to that point now where he's 20, 21 years of age.
Make a break, innit?
It's going to happen. If it's going to happen now, or if it doesn't happen now, it's not going to happen. So we'll see what happens. If he goes there and absolutely tears it up, then maybe he comes back in and starts pushing Barry Douglas or Alioski. But we'll see what happens. I think it's a good move, and hopefully he'll do well.
Well, all he's doing is he's dropping down one division to League One. I've just said up where they are, the 14th in the table, Scunthorpe. So, maybe he's got a chance of making a bit of a, play towards the playoffs. They are a good 12 points behind. No, yeah, it is 12 points in League One. It's top 6. So, yeah, it's a very small, minute chance, it seems. But who knows? I mean, the main thing is he gets game time. He needs to be playing games. And playing against, like I said, playing at under 23 is largely going to be playing against other boys, other kids. Whereas you're playing against men, especially in League One, and we all know how hard it was in League One in terms of the teams that come up against that. Basically, just against a team of old men that's the expression in it when you're a kid. That's how they do you and whatever. Rather than if you're a kid, you do people with a bit of flair and pace. They old man you, and is that saying? I hope people understand. They might not, judging by your reaction, probably not.
Matt. No, I get it. The old man, he's not going to mess around. He's just going to kick you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly.
Put you in rose head.
They're going to learn you that way anyway.
Toughen him up a bit.
Yeah, and that's probably what it might be. Just toughen him up a little bit. That's what might actually be needed. Learning like that side of the game. But I just feel that everyone who's gone out on loan, I don't know if it's a case, especially with like Leif Davis coming in before, and I think that potentially it could be the end of Tom Pearce being at Leeds. We'll have to wait and see. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I think he's a decent talent. You know, it's just the fact that Leif Davis has gotten ahead of him. It seems. I know he's had a couple of injury niggles and stuff like that, but maybe that's the reason. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but. Yeah, I suppose that's all I can think about. The only other player really that's rumoured is Sam Dolby, but there's nothing been mentioned as of yet. If something happens, I'm sure if I remember, I'll pick up on it on the next video. But lastly, we'll just get into the what you think is going to happen against Norwich. It's a big game, of course.
Massive 6-pointer.
Definitely.
It's going to be a difficult one. If we play like we played in the first half against Rotherham, we're going to get murdered, and the game is going to be over before we get to half time. I don't think that's going to happen. We tend to pick it up against the bigger sides. Look what happened at Derby. We just absolutely dominated them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's going to be a tough game. It's obviously huge. It's first versus second. The implications are massive as well with regards to the table. We could go 6 points clear, which is a massive buffer. So I mean, I think we can win. Norwich are susceptible to conceding goals. They've conceded quite a few goals over the last few weeks. And we will have Pontus Jansson back in, and this will be the first time in a long while we'll have Jansson and Cooper playing back again. I think they had one game before Jansson got sent off. But having those two in there, meaning Phillips can push into his more natural midfield role.
If he puts him there.
Yeah, I mean it does pose a question then. What happens? Does Forshaw drop out? Does Click drop out? Does Hernandez go to the wing? Still, it gives us options though, which is good. It's not just a case of we know where he's going, we know where he's going. It gives us options. So if we're guessing, then I'm assuming that Norwich are going to be guessing as well. Might see Daniel James. Whether that will go through, I don't know. I think he'll probably make the bench. I don't know if he'll make an appearance. He might make last 10-15 minutes, but it's definitely a winnable game. Considering how they've not really been defending very well recently, but I think it's imperative, in the very least, that we get a draw, because we're a bit fortunate in the fact that other teams around us are playing all the other teams around us. West Brom are playing Middlesbrough on Saturday as well. Yeah. Sheffield United, I think
they've got Bolton. They've got Bolton at 3 o'clock. Yeah, so that I would expect them to win. I think they're at home as well. So it's going to be tough, innit?
Yeah, but I mean, even in the following weeks, you've got other teams playing other teams around us. When we've got difficult games, they also have difficult games. So I think a draw at the very least. But if we get a win, then I think that could be it could be huge. I mean, I looked at the next 5 fixtures for each of the top 5 teams, and I think I'm going to make a prediction here, a bold one. I think after the next 5 games, we'll be 11 points clear.
That is a very bold prediction.
It is a bold prediction.
That is a very bold prediction.
I've looked at the fixtures and I feel confident.
Okay, remember this day. It says we're going to be 11 points clear after the next 5 games. Not so sure. It's too unpredictable. Is this division? Basically my take on it is I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think there's definitely going to be goals on both sides. They're scoring goals for fun. We are to some degree. I think the first goal is key. Because I don't know how much to read into it, but if ever Leeds have scored first, we've won every single game. If we've conceded first, is it like a 50-50 chance thereabouts we're going to get at least a draw? So probably slightly more the other way. I don't know, but yeah, we've got to get the first goal, I think. But I could see it being a score draw, 2-2, something like that. Because I've had loads of 2-2s recently, so why not throw another one in mix? but Sheffield United playing Bolton, I know you shouldn't look at other teams, focus on yourselves, but they're going to put the pressure on, in my opinion. I'd be very surprised if Bolton get a result there. I'd take it. I'd take any sort of result. But, yeah, like I said, if everyone's playing each other, who knows? After that, we've got after Norwich, is it Swansea? Or Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, then Swansea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're equally big games, but playing each other, if you like, us and Middlesbrough this time. So it's going to be tough. So I suppose, based on what you've just said there, mate, what's the first of your 5 predictions, basically? I'm not going to go through all your predictions, just the first, i.e. this next game. What do you think's going to happen? I said 2-2.
Like I said, it's going to be a tough one. That first goal is going to be key. Hopefully the poor first half against Rotherham is going to hopefully change some things. We'll have players coming back, potentially new players coming in as well. I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0. Another clean sheet against them. I beat them 3-0 before.
Yeah, I think Bielsa's obviously God, without question. He'll know Norwich probably better than their manager does, and the owner as well.
Yeah.
So I think we can get that first goal. I'm going to say, I think Click will get the first goal, and then Janssen will bag one with 20 minutes to go, and we'll draw it out. And I think we've got enough with Cooper and Pontus Janssen at the back to keep their forwards relatively quiet, and then I think we'll have free reign, and I think maybe Daniel James will get an assist for Janssen's goal. I think Janssen will make an amazing run, play it out wide.
You haven't signed yet.
Back in, and he'll just get in there, slide it in, bottom corner. There's my another bold prediction from Mattinho.
Exactly how the goals go in. But basically, I think the one that teams at grassing us, so we owe them for that alone as well.
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches. So right, that brings us towards to the end of the video. So go ahead, by all means, pimp your channel, Matt.
Do sim racing and Football Manager content. Not really done much for the last few weeks or so. Taking a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but there's plenty of content on there still. So if you're into your motor racing, sim racing, or Football Manager, go check me out. There's a link in the description.
Yeah, and obviously, I hope you know who I am. I do Football Manager mainly on Twitch these days. In fact, it is only on Twitch these days. Links are all in the description for both of us. Check us out. You'd have a great laugh with either of us. But yeah, until next time, after Norwich at some point, we'll see you then. Bye-bye. And he's still not signed.
Fuck.